Hi friends, Marcy Schoenborn here of Scho Fit, and I'm so glad that you're here today to join me as I discuss a meme that is going around talking about dandelion root and cancer. And the viral meme states dandelion root kills 95% of cancer cells in just 2 days. And we're going to unpack the truth on that. And what I'm hoping to convey is that you will stop just looking at memes and even reading what the post says and running with it without getting to the truth. And how do you get to the truth? You can come to someone like me, you can bring me the information, and I would be happy to do the research and do a talk on it because I don't get my research from YouTube. And if you are getting all the information you ever get in life from social media, you're maybe not getting the right information. And that is often by design, because guess who's involved? Big food and big pharma. And then you get these little influencers that can run with something like this, and they get hundreds and thousands of followers because everybody wants this to be true. Whose human brain doesn't want to believe that dandelion root can kill 95% of cancer cells in just 2 days, especially if we've lost people to cancer that we love? But that's really just not how it works. And so, yes, it sounds incredible. And naturally, people want it to be true. The idea that a simple herbal tea could do what chemotherapy does without side effects feels empowering. But as with most viral health headlines, the truth is more complex. Let's look at what the research really says, and more importantly, what it means for our everyday choices. And that's really what is the foundation, is everyday choices across the board, not just adding some type of tea and keep eating the junk you've been eating that caused the cancer. So there's so much more to it than this. And if you're finding this intriguing, please like this, follow me, subscribe to my channel, and share it with friends. That is how I'm able to do more talks just like this. So what the research actually found: there is legitimate science behind dandelion root's anti-cancer potential. Here's what we know. In 2016, researchers at the University of Windsor in Canada studied aqueous dandelion root extract, DRE, and found it could trigger apoptosis, programmed cell death, in colon cancer cell lines in a lab dish. Within 48 hours, more than 95% of those cancer cells had died off. Keep in mind, those cancer cells are in a lab dish. They're not being fed unhealthy food any longer. So of course, what we saw was a magnificent push for apoptosis. So earlier studies had shown similar results in leukemia, prostate, and melanoma cells in a petri dish. The same team tested it in mice implanted with human colon cancer and found the extract helped slow tumor growth, but did not eliminate it completely. And why would that be? Because it's in a living being, and that living being is still consuming the food that would support the tumor. So yes, the claim comes from real data, but here's the key. It was all in lab dishes and mice, not humans. And again, as I pointed out, no longer in the lab dishes. I want to say this again because it matters. In the lab dishes, there's no more poor nutrition going into those cells like we do to ourselves. So lab studies called in vitro studies are valuable for understanding possibility, but they don't tell us what will happen in a living human body, where compounds are diluted, digested, metabolized, and filtered through organs like the liver and kidneys. And so, yes, there's even more to it than just that we're still feeding the human body garbage. So no human evidence yet. No large clinical trial has proven dandelion root can treat or cure cancer in people. There's been a small phase 1 trial approved by Health Canada, but that's only a safety test, not a treatment study. And I don't believe there will ever be big clinical trials because cancer is too profitable. And there is no big dandelion to support it like there is big pharma and big food. So there are also scattered case reports, such as one patient with chronic myelomonocytic leukemia, CMML, who improved while taking dandelion root and papaya leaf extract. But those don't prove causation. Many factors could explain what happened. So why natural, and actually, let's even go back. I have a client with leukemia in remission, and her doctor swears it is the nutrition she's eating with me. And so again, that could explain what happened in these reports where people are seeing success is they changed their entire nutritional foundation. So why natural doesn't always mean safe or effective? Dandelion root has a long history in herbal medicine for liver and digestive support, and it's generally considered safe as a food or tea. But concentrated extracts used in lab studies are far more potent than what you'd steep in your kitchen. And this is just a really good time to point out that more is not always better. You know, we're on this push always. We think that, you know, if 400 milligrams of ibuprofen will do this, 800 will do better. We think that protein is, you know, great for the body. And now there's all this push, this unhealthy push for too much protein without looking at everything else it does in the human body. And so more is not always better. Taking large doses or combining it with certain medications, especially diuretics, lithium, or diabetes drugs, can alter electrolyte balance and blood sugar. Cancer patients often take multiple medications, so even natural remedies should always be cleared with their oncologist or pharmacist. Why quick fixes don't work without lifestyle change. So even if an herb did have anti-cancer properties, which I believe many do, and that's why they test them, because you know what they're actually doing in this dandelion root testing? They're looking for a way to create a medication to mimic it for profit. However, that medication is going to have side effects because it's not natural, not created by God. So even if an herb did have anti-cancer properties, it can't override the environment we create inside our body every single day. Our internal terrain, the sum of our diet, stress, sleep, movement, toxin exposure, and emotional state determines how our cells behave. A lot of factors going on, and the foundation really is nutrition, because with the better diet, that helps us fight stress. It helps us sleep better. It gives us energy and better repair when we have exercise and movement. It helps the liver and kidneys fight toxin exposure because the liver and kidneys aren't so busy detoxing the garbage we're putting in our body. All of that helps our emotional state. And then guess what? Our cells behave really well. Cellular nutrition is my jam if you're not familiar. So here's what the science shows. The World Cancer Research Fund, WCRF, and the American Institute for Cancer Research analyzed thousands of studies and found that at least 40% of cancers are preventable through lifestyle changes. The most powerful habits for prevention and recovery are maintaining a healthy body weight, eat mostly whole plant foods, vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, limit processed foods and sugar-sweetened drinks, keep red and processed meats minimal, but when they do these testings, what they're not looking at is quality meat. I am a fan of eating meat, but quality meat. So when they do these testings, a lot of times they're feeding people McDonald's hamburgers. I would not consider that quality meat. Move your body daily. Avoid smoking and minimize alcohol. And recent research even shows cutting alcohol out completely is really going to be your friend, especially when it comes to cancer. We do know that 1 drink a day for women increases breast cancer risk by 40%. So these aren't quick fixes. They rebuild your cellular environment, the same one that cancer cells either thrive or die in. The role of dandelion and other herbs. Dandelion root, like many herbs, contains polyphenols and antioxidants that help reduce oxidative stress and inflammation, 2 key drivers of disease that makes it a supportive herb, not a cure. But friends, if you have even seen that polyphenols are dangerous, that is some recent research that I've seen, some recent talks I've seen. There's a reason that is being pushed. We need polyphenols. So it's profitable for them to tell us that we don't need them, that we want to avoid them, that they're damaging. They are not. We need them. So other plants show similar or even stronger effects in research. Turmeric, because of curcumin, anti-inflammatory, studied in over 100 related cancer trials. Green tea inhibits tumor cell growth in vitro and supports DNA repair. Garlic, rosemary, ginger, and oregano, rich in compounds that enhance detoxification and reduce inflammation. These belong in a balanced daily nutrition plan, the kind that we teach at Scho Fit. Plant-based with meat program, because they work synergistically when eaten as food, not isolated as a miracle pill. So the big picture, build a body that cancer doesn't like. Cancer doesn't appear overnight. It appears, it develops over years of inflammation, oxidative damage, hormonal imbalance, and immune suppression. The same habits that prevent it also support recovery and reduce recurrence risk. So rather than chasing single miracle foods, the smarter approach is to create a body environment that is unfriendly to disease, one that's oxygen rich, well-nourished, calm, and supported by consistent lifestyle choices. That's what we call building health, not fighting illness. So here's some takeaways. Dandelion tea is fine as part of a healthy plan, especially for gentle liver and kidney support. Drink 1 to 2 cups daily if tolerated, but don't expect it to treat disease by itself. Don't self-treat cancer or serious illness with herbs. Always consult your medical team. Prioritize food first. Colorful vegetables, leafy greens, cruciferous veggies, berries, garlic, turmeric, legumes, and clean proteins. Support your body's healing systems. Move daily. Hydrate, manage stress, and get sunlight. Vitamin D matters for cancer defense as well. Avoid ultra-processed foods. Sugar and refined oils feed inflammation, not health. So dandelion root may one day contribute to cancer therapy, and that's exciting science. But the truth is you can't supplement your way out of a bad lifestyle. Healing and prevention always start with what you put on your plate, how you move, how you rest, and how you think. No herb can replace that, but when used wisely, plants like dandelion remind us that nature gives us powerful allies if we use them as part of the bigger picture. And I really appreciate you joining me for this talk today. If you have questions, you can post them below. There will also be references under this talk on YouTube, wherever you're following me from. If you want to give me a shout out, if you want to give me some food for thought, some things to research for you, happy to do that. And if you even want to do a nutrition consultation with me, I don't hand you off to a team member. You're going to talk to me. I want to understand what's going on in your body. And then what I do is explain what's going on, what's around the corner if you don't repair what's already going on and the root causes. So have a great day. Thanks for being here. Be blessed. God designed everything we need for wellness. Man ruined it. Have a great day.